And we're back with our final episode, number 9 in this Life Activation series. I'm Vila Loukas here with Julia Tiffin, and in this episode, we're talking about after a life activation, what do you do? For some people, they come in and they get a life activation and they have whatever experience they have with it. It flips those switches, it gets things more aligned, more flow happening, and they have really great shifts in their lives over time. Sometimes it's not immediate, very rarely actually is it, on the spot, huge shifts in the moment. More often, it's very organic. I often refer to it as like a flower blooming. It's that bud that was held really tight and it just starts to, over time, petal by petal, start to open and be expressed and reveal the true beauty within. And so if you find that you like the energy that came through with the life activation, if you find that things are shifting in your life for the better, whether it's subtle or whether it's extreme, however it shows up for you, there's a lot that the modern mystery school path of progression has to offer to help support that work, to help support that blossoming, to help support the ongoing work that begins with the life activation.
So everyone is different, and we know the kind of things you could follow up with when you feel, oh, hang on, I want to take another step. It could be the spirit activation, which is really part 2 of the life activation, which then ensures that the soul is also plugged in. So the life activation really ensures that body and spirit are working. And then with spirit activation, we really are working with the soul. So that could be something that you want to move towards. For some people, they realize, you know what, I need to make a cleanup of my relationships. And that really comes to light. And so people move towards the emotional negative cord cutting, spell removal, purification by light, perhaps, or maybe shamanic aura clearing. And some of you also might realize I need tools. Now that I've started waking up to that there's more, now I need tools. How do I actually live that life that I'm beginning to sniff more clearly? How do I live it? And Empower Thyself class and initiation is an investment that really starts giving you tools for the rest of your life that will change up your environment and your entire way you approach life.
I find that with the life activation, it will stimulate a lot. It'll stimulate movement in a couple of different areas. So if you're the kind of person who's really ready to just like, let's go, let's make things happen, that you're looking for greater empowerment, greater amplification, greater acceleration, greater impact, then that path of empowerment is going to be a really great one. So with that, that full spirit activation that Julia mentioned, the Empower Thyself initiation program, the Galactic Activation, they pack a punch, right? Those are the sessions and classes and programs that really will shift what's happening for you, expanding energetically what you are able to do, how quickly things can move for you. So that's one way to approach it after a life activation. For other people, they may find that actually the life activation stimulates the need for greater healing. There may be things that need to be resolved from the past, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, whatever level of healing that might be called for. Sometimes the life activation will start to bring that to light. And so we have within the mystery school tradition an amazing set of healings that we can offer. Some of my favorites, Julie and I are both Ensofic Ray practitioners. It's an incredible modality. Another one of my favorites is what's called the Hermetic Soul Retrieval session. And if you're finding that you are anxious or depressed, or you just feel like, oh, there's something off and it's not quite working well, the life activation is going to help bring more of what you have within you online and activated. The soul retrieval is actually going to address where there are pieces missing, where things may have gone away that need to be recalled, that need to be brought back and reintegrated. It's a really beautiful session. And that's one actually I recommend after receiving a full spirit activation, because a full spirit activation is going to activate the soul body. And then we bring those pieces back through a soul retrieval session, and really amazing healing can happen. Julie and I could talk all day, which we will at some point, about all of the different healings that you can take part in through the mystery school modalities. And that's where it's really personalized. That's where you would work with your practitioner and you talk about, here's what's going on, here's what's really called for, here's what I'm seeking. And then you put together a plan for addressing the healing that's needed.
We have, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 healings easily, if not more. I haven't counted lately, but there's so many specialized tools for specialized situations where we need very unique healing. So do know that it exists. And that really is just depending on what you need. So everyone is different. That's why we remain wanting to be connected to you, because we know it's a journey back to self. And the life activation stimulates that journey, but there may be more things that you need down the line.
And Julie and I are both guides within the mystery school tradition. That's our job, is to help guide you along the path, to help you navigate what is it that your soul is calling for, what is it that is going to benefit you most next on your journey, on your path, because everybody is unique, everybody's path is unique, we're all headed to different places. Ultimately, we want to all have the same bigger picture goal, which is to bring about a world of peace and prosperity, and where we all get to live in a way that is fulfilled and joyful. And the way we're going to get there is by each individual truly living who they are and what your true design is about. When you live from that place, that's where the light, the joy, the love, the flow, the fulfillment all comes. And each of us doing our unique individual work is what's going to create this beautiful tapestry of what we call the Mystery School Shambhala. And that's it for now. It's been an absolute joy and pleasure to bring you this podcast series about this one-of-a-kind, life-changing session, the Life Activation. If you've already received a Life Activation, or if you haven't yet and would like to give it a try, please do reach out. We'd love to hear from you. And if you know someone who would benefit from a Life Activation session, please do let us know. I'm Vila Loukas. I'm here with Julia Tiffin. You can find me at innerradianceacademy.com, and you can find Julia at juliatiffin.com. Thank you so much for listening.